Hi guys, today's tutorial is a copper shimmery eye with glowy skin. This is my favourite and it turned out so nice. So here's how you do it. I just quickly sellotaped up my side so I get a really clean finish at the end. And I'm taking my Motives Elements palette in the taupey colour and I'm using that in my crease. This is a great transition colour. I love this palette. I use this palette almost every day. It's got the perfect colours that you need and it's really easy to blend out. So thumbs up from me. And then I'm blending that all out with a hair and makeup addiction brush. With the Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita palette, I'm taking the rusty brown colour and adding that to my crease. This just makes the eyes look more three-dimensional and provides a really good transition. Then with my Makeup Revolution Makeup Geek palette, the coppery colour, I am packing that on my lid, just in the centre and keeping below my crease line, keeping it quite neat. And then I'm using the brownie colour and adding that to the centre of my lid. Then I'm taking the MAC Pigment in Melon and adding that on top. This just makes the eye stand up so much more, as you can see, and brightens it up completely. Back to the Makeup Geek palette, and I'm using the silvery goldy colour in the inner corners of my eye, and I'm overlapping it slightly to the Melon pigment, just so you get a really good blended look, so you can't see where one colour ends and one colour finishes. With an angled brush dipped into my Motives Elements palette, the matte black shade, I'm doing a winged liner, but only going into the centre of my lid. I'm not taking it all the way in. Buffing that out with my buffing brush. Mainly concentrating on the wing, not really the inner part of the eyelid. Using my favourite lashes, the Huda Beauty lashes in Giselle, I'm adding them to my lash line. And then with the back to the Motives Elements palette in the shimmery, I think it's a whitey colour, I'm highlighting my brow bone with that. Then using my Motives LBD gel liner and my MUA E4 brush, I am lining my upper lid, but ever so slightly. I don't really want a thick liner, so I'm just building it up bit by bit, stroke by stroke, taking advantage of the sellotape, going all over that. Love this part when you can peel off the sellotape and you see your super straight line. And I'm just cleaning up any excess that's fallen on my face before I start my face, and you should have something that looks like this by now. Onto my face. I'm using my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation in NC35 and NC40. I'm having to mix them at the moment because I'm still a bit tanned from holiday. I'm usually NC35, so I'm just mixing that all in, and I know I've got the worst bags at the moment. Must be Ramadan. I'm just probably not having as much water or sleeping as well as I probably should be. So buffing that in with a Real Techniques buffing brush just to get such an airbrush finish. I love this brush. Onto the contouring. Woohoo! I'm using my favourite palette, the Motive Sculpt series in Ice. This palette is everything at the moment. I can't live without it. It's the best thing that has ever happened to me. So I use the yellow colour as a concealer stroke highlighter under my eyes, and as you can see, I'm going down, bringing it down towards my nose. We do not conceal like this anymore, girls, because that just accentuates your bag. So you bring it down to your nose and you take it out. Now I'm just continuing to highlight and contour my face. So I'm highlighting under the cheekbone, my chin, the bridge of my nose, and a bit on my forehead. I'm going back in and highlighting my cheekbones with the lightest shade in that Motives palette and just going over it just to give it a real good highlight. Taking the Motives 10 Year Younger spray, I'm spraying that on top of my buffing brush. This just helps me to blend it in really seamlessly. I mean, the Motives palette is pretty creamy as it is, so you don't really have to do this step, but for the sake of this video and to make my life a little bit easier, I've just added a bit of spray to the brush. I'm taking my bronzer from Nars in Casino with my MUA Contour brush. I have a pretty round face, so I don't really have cheekbones. I have practiced this so hard so I look like I have cheekbones, and I think I've got it down to a T now. So I just put it under my cheekbones, on my jawline, and the temples of my head. So the key to this is blending it all out so you don't have any harsh lines or edges with my buffing brush. On to the best part in the world, baking. This is the best way to set your under eye and highlighted areas. If you haven't heard of this, this is what you should try and do. It makes such a difference. And we press that into your skin and you leave it there. Yeah, I look good. Geek palette, those two orangey shades. I'm starting on my lower lash line now, and I'm adding the product to the lower lash line at the same time as blending it out. It's also great when you're baking and doing this after, so if you get any fallout, it catches it, so pretty cool. Taking that MAC Melon pigment and placing that just in the centre of the lower line, and then tight lining my lower lash line with LBD Motives gel liner. This is the best gel liner I've ever used. It doesn't move, it doesn't budge, it doesn't run down your face. It is amazing. If you don't have it, you need this. Brush, I am just getting rid of all the excess powder, brushing all that off, and as you can see, my highlighted areas are pretty highlighted, making the contour look even more better. Then putting mascara on the lower lash line, packing that on, and then back to that Motives palette that I highlighted my brow with. I'm using that on the inner corners of my eye just to really open my eyes up. Using my blusher from Sephora in Rose Blitz and a Real Techniques powder brush, I'm adding blusher to my face. Slightly contouring my nose because I feel like my whole face is pretty contoured, and if I didn't do my nose, I think I would look pretty odd. I will do a full tutorial on contouring, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. I'm using the same bronzer, the Casino Nars bronzer for this. MUA iridescent highlighter and a tapered brush. I'm just highlighting my cheekbones. I love this highlighter. It's £3 and it's amazing. You can see that highlight already. Taking a nude lipstick from MAC in Honey Love and coating my lips with that, then adding Angel Falls by Sleek, a nude gloss on top, and we're done. I hope you guys have enjoyed my very first tutorial. I will be doing loads more. My next one probably would be either a brow or a how to eliminate bags, because my bags are pretty bad at the moment, so it would be great to show you my tips and tricks on how I do that. Would love your comments, and give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, and subscribe. See you soon.